a system approaching perfection.
We'll walk deeper into the belly of the beast if it means I'm able to further...
Hi guys, this is Danny at the Crypto Show, and I'm here with Max Borders. You're the creator of Voice and Exit, or?
I am co-creator along with Seth Blaustein. He's my co-founder. Yep.
And it's been going how long? Like 3 years now? Or?
No, we're in our fifth year. This was our
you're in your
fifth year.
Fifth year. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
We started from humble beginnings, put together with shoestrings and bubble gum, and now we're at this scale.
Well, like during 2012, I was a Ron Paul delegate, and I remember going to several events that you were leading. You were in charge of getting the Appleseed guys going, and just all kinds of different events that happened around here through TAG. So you've been, here in Austin, involved in everything for ever since I can remember, at least, in the Liberty movement, and now you're doing this. And I was just in San Diego at Libertopia. And another friend had came from another conference that was here at Bryan College Station. And there was like super low attendance, but this place is, it's packed. Did you sell out or what?
We did.
A lot.
Yeah, we did. And the interesting thing about that is in years past, we haven't done that. There's like an iron law of events that in year 5, that's when it's either going to hit or not, and it hit this year. In years past we've had good success, but this is really the most robust year.
Yeah, I was a little worried. I was like, man, I think everybody just gave up on Liberty conferences, and this is a little bit different. Do you think that maybe blockchain, Bitcoin type of thing, because it's like every conference that we go to that is blockchain, Bitcoin oriented, it's just a sellout. I just came from one that sold 8,500 tickets.
Yeah, having that thread through it is really interesting to people. One of the things that we do at Voice and Exit, really, Voice and Exit is not meant to be an ideological event at all. Certainly there are ideological threads, but it's sort of like what we try to do is see the values through a prism of human flourishing, and people from different sort of political orientations bring different kind of perspectives. How can we weave those together through a sort of anything peaceful type mantra? And that really works. People they put down their sort of ideological baggage, their political partisanship, and they just talk together as human beings. And it's such a beautiful emergent phenomenon.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem here, especially in the U.S., is the WWE culture, where we have the good guy and the bad guy, or the Democrat and Republican, this whole left and right. They've got to keep us divided.
It's a spectacle that's designed to keep us from connecting with each other in more humane ways, and we want to be the antidote to that.
How do we finally reach the left or the right and let them know that they're being deceived, and it's just a divide and conquer?
Yeah, well, this is one way. One of the things that we have on the back of our shirts here is criticized by creating.
Right.
And we feel that really captures the idea of, instead of arguing about things on Facebook, instead of let's figure out how to get shit done. Let's figure out how to lock arms, go out in our communities and make everything more beautiful and more pleasant to live, make sure that the poor are taken care of, making sure we make money so we can do it, and just get shit done. That is really our focus here.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you've got going here with plastics, can you explain, do you know, you have the wave outside of plastic bottles. What was that?
One of our sponsors is a tokenized plastic recycling outfit out of Australia, and they were really keen to come in and sponsor, and we were out of sort of standard sponsorship space. Yeah. So we asked, well, what can we do? And there's so many great artists in town. Yeah. So what we decided to do is with the sponsor, say, hey, why don't you sponsor a beautiful sculpture? We'll turn trash into treasure. So we got a bunch of recyclable materials, put it together into a piece of art, and they were happy. People connected with the piece. And that's just the kind of stuff that we really do with this community. It starts off rolling the ball up the hill every year, this kind of disparate stuff, and then it just turns into this beautiful amalgam in a single couple of days.
So this has been a really good event, especially the party last night was really super awesome. I love that. It's almost like you had Matt McKibben or something in there helping you do that. What's up with that?
Matt McKibben, he's like this devil that sits on my shoulder all the time. Yeah. He's actually a good friend, and I remember Matt having a good time.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've been to a bunch of his parties, and it reminded me a lot of some of his parties that he's been throwing.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, what was the idea behind all that? I mean, the butterflies and everything is so cool.
We are about celebrating life and celebrating beauty and really to some extent strangeness. Like there is a I don't know how to explain it. Louis Armstrong, the old jazz artist, when someone asked him to describe what jazz is, it says, if you have to ask, you'll never know. It means you just got to come and experience it. The experience, we are about experience design, and the metaphor of the event is seed, sprouts, blooms, and harvest. Seeds are the TED Talk style ideas that people give talks and things like that. Sprouts are the breakout workshops. And then blooms is this party, this just enormous celebration of our existence and our time together. That community, community and freedom aspect. We're reconciling these different perspectives from people from all different walks of life, and we're doing that, unifying them through celebration, and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, there was a really broad range of people here, like the seasteading and everything, all these different ideas of people working together to make new communities that work together.
Yeah, exactly.
And blockchain this and blockchain. I kept walking into these rooms. We were doing, interviews, and so I didn't really get to watch any of the talks, but it's like every time I walked in, I would hear blockchain like everywhere, and just it's ingrained into everything.
It's in the zeitgeist right now, and we certainly want it to be. We think it is. One of the things that I'm on a personal mission about is to destroy politics. I think partisan politics in particular is outlived its usefulness. Yeah. But in order to do that, you have to show what the world can be like when we just work collaboratively. And there's nothing better than these kind of programmable incentives that the distributed ledger technologies enable to allow us to work together on mass scales. It's going to be a complete game changer in this century, and we're going to do our damn best to make sure it does. Yeah. We had Dash as a sponsor, cryptocurrency, and they've been amazing.
Our show is actually sponsored by Dash. Not currently, but previously it was sponsored by Dash, and I'm sure it probably will be again. I've done some really cool stuff in Mexico. I'm building houses for earthquake victims and all this crazy stuff.
That
so it's
is
a
wonderful.
lot of, and we're doing it with crypto to just try to show them that, hey, this is this new thing and it has value, and here's how I just built a house for you.
What's a better way to talk about criticism through creation than Dash or Bitcoin or whatever? I mean, there's really great exemplars of that. That mantra.
So my dad, he's a hardcore Democrat, and so I find the way that I have to talk to him in these things is I will find the flaw in his democratic view, and then I will find that same flaw with the Republican, and I will just tell him, oh man, did you see what Trump did? It's blah, 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 and go that way. Oh, and by the way, the Democrats did it worse. So I'm trying to, it's this long, hard road of me trying to reach him and then let him know that both sides suck, man. You're just watching wrestling. Yeah. Stop. Get out of there.
That's sort of, it's a strange cartel between two wrestling teams, isn't it? Sports teams, and it really keeps us locked in this ridiculous binary way of thinking. This event is absolutely dedicated to just trashing binaries and looking at the world as a multifaceted, beautiful, unified organism of cooperation. We can be that.
So, coming up next year, what's your plans for next year? And if someone has like a really cool project and they want to get involved in Voice and Exit?
One of the things that we have had this year is the most absolutely stellar volunteers. So this is a big production. It's elaborate, it's beautiful, and it's expensive. So not everybody can afford a ticket. And so what we do is we offer people opportunities to volunteer. You can jump in for a fraction of the cost, sometimes even free ticket if you want to work more hours. And our volunteers absolutely have been the backbone of this experience this year. They've been such amazing people, and I can't thank them enough. So I hope some of them watch this.
Well, let's talk about that. What was the ticket price?
So it varies as you get closer to the event because we want you to buy earlier. So we offer discounts to buy earlier, and as you approach the event, it gets more expensive because they're scarcer. But the ticket price normally it's $399 for our what's called the Exeter Pass, which is
Yeah.
just the regular pass. We have a Mastermind Pass that's $1,000. Our masterminds, we take care of them like VIPs and give them
Yeah.
a special embedded experience. And then there's a basic pass that if you just want to kind of come during the day and come to some of the talks, you can do that if
Right.
you're not interested in the party and you're not interested in the mastermind events.
Right.
So there's a whole spectrum of prices
Right.
that makes it inclusive for everyone. And you know, some of the masterminds, they gain access to each other, but they know they're cross-subsidizing people from parts of the community that might otherwise not be able to come, and they're okay with that.
I love that it's inclusive like that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that, or I just told you about going to New York. There were 8,500 people at this conference. The tickets were $3,500, and the sponsors paid $25,000. I think starting out, going on way up from there. So
I wish we could figure that.
These
I wish we
people
could figure
bled.
that out.
I mean, no, but that's ridiculous. Like they were just abusing people at that point.
Yeah.
At least you've got it down to a level where someone could at least afford it.
Yeah. Well, and we've been painstaking about creating and returning to the experience of our sponsors and
Yeah.
the experience of our attendees first.
Yeah,
We haven't made a dime on this event in 5 years.
Right.
We basically break even. We do this for the love of it. If we ever make money on it someday, I will turn backflips.
The Texas Bitcoin Conference right here in Austin, they've yet to turn a profit on it. I think they broke even or even lost their ass on the first one.
Yeah, this is mission before money.
Yeah.
And that's the way we see it. And we know that if we stay on mission, the money will follow.
There you go. What are the websites and how can people look for it next year? And what do you think the date would be for next year?
It'll probably be sometime around here, so late spring, or in the summer. It gets hot in Austin, so maybe we'll try to avoid getting people out in the baking sun. But it's voiceandexit.com. We definitely want to have you guys come out and celebrate ideas and getting out there and making the world a better place with us.
Yeah,
it's
and
fantastic.
food trucks, we're taking cryptocurrency, so if you're a crypto head, and I'm sure there'll probably be more crypto events here next year, so definitely check that out. Keep it in the back of your mind and look it up. All right, thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right.